And here's a look at some numbers for Beverly.
And the biggest takeaway when you look at his numbers is how good his three-point shooting has been the past 5 games. He's finding the open spots on the perimeter, and when he's getting good looks, boy, he is not missing.
And the Clippers starting 5. Harkless is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Patrick Beverly. Then it's Paul George, and it's Leonard in at the 3. And for Minnesota, Covington at the 4 with Towns in at the 5. Andrew Wiggins is out there with Culver, and it's Okogie in at the 3 spot. Around this time of year, lots of national broadcasted games, Doris. Does that impact the players, you think, in any way?
I certainly think the guys are aware of the nights they're on national television. Some guys relish, Kev, as you know, the opportunity to play on the big stage. So for the regular season, those nights where you know the entire country is watching, that's a big deal.
Beverly finds Harkless. Leonard with the ball. Inside. Here's Beverly. It's good, and he makes his first shot of the game.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
You know, we see this all the time, Greg. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens.
Pass to Leonard. Down low, Harkless. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
And I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
The Timberwolves again can't hit. And here's Beverly. An 11-point game for him in the win against Toronto.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes played. Covington with it. George picks him up, and George gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Here's Culver. Stats on him, he's averaging 9 points a game. Over Beverly. A nice shot by Culver.
And for me, guys, this is an area that Culver should utilize more often, showing off that incredible feel with the jumper.
Now, here's Zubac. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
Here's Okogie. Dishes to Towns. And it's sent back by George.
Paul George, tremendous vertical, Kevin. How fast does he get off his feet?
The shot misses. Towns with the defensive effort. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession.
A brief check now of the stats for Wiggins. He's one of the standouts over the last month, averaging about 23 points per, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. You know, you look at the numbers and you think that this is great, but we know that he's capable of even bigger production.
You know, the numbers look okay, but the eye test tells us unequivocally he is capable of more. That is the sign of a star right there.
Here's George, and the shot goes down.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Now, here's Culver. Guarded closely. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Towns finds Covington. Clock at 6. Wiggins from outside.
And they've had chances to score inside, just unable to convert.
That's a miss, his second after 2 shots. There's the pass to George. Leonard on the wing. They get a hand on it, and stolen by Wiggins. Towns high post, and Towns throws it down.
Anticipation by Wiggins jump-starts the fast break, and you'd think with his athleticism, he'd pick up some more of these.
Bounce pass from Beverly. Harkless dishes to George. Drops it in from 11 feet. George has got his second bucket tonight.
Boy, you love what this guy is doing right now. He's taking smart shots, shooting a high percentage, starting to cook.
Towns, no luck.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Now here's Harkless, defended by Covington. The three from George. A rebound by the Timberwolves. This game coming after a loss against the Jazz.
And coming into that one, looking to be competitive, but the disparity in talent just too great.
You had the sense, Greg, that they expected that result. Once they dug themselves into a hole, I thought they let go of the rope.
Doris, you can't say enough about the defense of Paul George. I mean, he is absolutely terrific on that end of the floor.
That is in addition to being an all-NBA level offensive performer. So you think about what Paul George brings on the defensive end. The on-ball defense is incredible. He knows when to help off on drives. This guy is easily one of the best defenders at his position, if not the best.
The first one falls. Last season, it seemed like Towns recommitted himself on the defensive end after facing some pretty significant criticism in that department.
You know, he looked like he was playing with a chip on his shoulder defensively. Towns has always had the capability to be a fantastic defender, and I'm really glad that he's focusing on that part of his game as an area to improve.
Boy, when you think about the skill that Karl Anthony Towns has, and you realize he's just getting started in the league, his future is truly off the charts. By the midpoint of his career, we could be talking about him as one of the most skilled big men to ever play the game.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Towns. Clippers leading by 6. And with the offensive tool set of Karl Anthony Towns, Doris, he could see MVP consideration in the future.
Well, what we know about Karl Anthony Towns certainly is that each and every night he has a major impact for his team. And consider, he's still growing as a player and ironing out some areas. But this guy is going to be a star for a long time, no doubt.
Here's Culver. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Lost contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Oh, that's a strong finish, and Karl Anthony Towns will go to the line, try to put the cherry on top.
Minnesota shooting their third free throw shot of the game.
And really, they haven't been able to differentiate themselves from the free throw line on the season at about 76%.
Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Williams comes in for Maurice Harkless. And Towns no good on that one. A superstar summer, Greg, for the Los Angeles Clippers in Kawhi Leonard and in Paul George. Greg, they have two elite wings, great defenders in their prime.
Give them credit, but also Kawhi Leonard pushing the levers behind the scenes. He wanted another superstar to join him in recruiting Paul George, who still had 2 years left on his deal in OKC. Kawhi took unprecedented control of his free agent destiny. And you gotta love the mindset of Robert Covington when he plays defense. So active with his hands and feet, rarely gets fooled on any
Free throw drops for Covington. You know, it's easy to see why, Greg, Covington has been named to first-team all-defense in the past.
The team is noticeably different when his defensive presence is missing. I mean, rare to find a perimeter player who is as good as him, both on and off the ball.
And both free throws good for Covington.
Well, you think about Robert Covington's evolution since entering the NBA. When he started his career in Philadelphia, he got on the floor because of his defensive versatility. But credit this young man's work ethic because he put a ton of time in to become a respectable. Wow. Well, Kawhi Leonard might be quiet off the court, but on the court, he makes a lot of noise.
And it's Teague with the ball, but he brings it up for Minnesota. They trail by 6. Wiggins outside. It's rebounded by Lou Williams. Los Angeles leading by 6. Outside Leonard. Back to Williams. And stolen by Wiggins. 4-on-3 break. Here's Towns. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
Got his hand out enough on that one to bother the three-point attempt. Great hustle on that one.
You know, we talk about this time and time again, trying to stay connected to shooters along the perimeter. Nicely done.
Williams can't hit. Timberwolves trail by 6. Covington kicks to Teague. Shot clock at 5. A three-pointer. Wiggins. It's rebounded by Leonard.
Let's give some credit to the defense for how they're guarding this guy right now because they're refusing to let him get comfortable.
Williams can't hit. Minnesota's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. For 3, Covington. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
You have to be prepared to catch and shoot in all circumstances if you're Robert Covington, and he was ready to rise and fire.
And Leonard gets it to go on the assist from Williams. Leonard's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Well, there's an unpredictability to his offensive game. He is always keeping the defense off balance.
And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Here's Graham. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
And the shot goes in. And it's a 7-point Clipper lead. Minnesota's gone a meager 1 of 6 from three-point land since we got started tonight. Teague deciding where to go with it, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And last year, a tough one for Jeff Teague. Just couldn't put together his normal level of play.
You know, Teague missed some games with injury, but his shot just wasn't consistent. His passing and playmaking were as strong as ever, but you just couldn't rely on him to score.
First one falls for him. Doris, who are some of your favorite players to interact with, interview, and question as you go through the season?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys. I think, you know, certain people really give a lot of thought to their answers. So a Kyrie Irving, he wants to explain what he's thinking. He's willing to share and take a moment and consider the question. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, all of these guys, when I ask a question, Kev, they'll pause for a moment, consider the question, and then respond. And for somebody who's got to interview, there's nothing greater than having those guys willing to take some time with me.
Doris, and you always get great answers from them too, so there's a great rapport there I can see. Here's Napier. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
All right, he's got to quit while he's ahead. He got away with it there, but the crossover usually gets him into a bit of trouble.
Teague against Williams. To the middle. He's looking for Leonard and finds him. Second chance shot and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That's on Jeff Teague.
The best scorers in the game have the ability to get to the free throw line. Kawhi Leonard lives there.
And he's known as the Claw. Kawhi Leonard doors with some of the biggest hands in the NBA.
Well, consider, Kevin, that hand is over 11 inches from thumb to pinky. That's 52% wider than the normal hand. Basically, his hands correspond to a person who would be almost 9 feet tall. Incredible.
That free throw missing.
And you think about the Wolves' history. KG clearly their best player, but Big Cat has a chance to reach that level someday.
He does, Greg, and I think we always look through KG's legacy being defined by passion, commitment, and leadership. That was as important as his basketball skill. Karl Anthony Towns is similarly talented, right? I think the key is he just needs to find consistency. That's the last step.
I'll grade the Clippers signing of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, the grand finale of the wildest summer in NBA free agent history.
A ton of big moves. You think of the star players who've changed teams, 1/3 of the league's all-NBA selections, and 5 out of 10 of the reigning all-star starters. In the end, we saw 7 players who've changed teams, signing for over $100 million each. Put that in perspective, only 8 players had ever done that in league history.
Wide open look, and no good.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Man, and they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
And boy, are they attacking the paint.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. Okogie's checked in for Minnesota.
What's up?
We've got 1:28 left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Vonleh. Timberwolves passing it around. Here's Napier. Up and in, off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
And Greg, you know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Back to Williams. 5 to shoot. From deep three-point range. Timberwolves trail by 5. Okogie, the pass to Jang. Great D that time from Harrell. Los Angeles has gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. And Leonard gets it to go. Leonard's got 9 points.
This is a small forward who, because he's 230 pounds, can hold his own down in the low post. That is nicely done.
Here's Okogie. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. 16 feet away. Drained for 2 points. And that does it for the first quarter. The Clippers on top. They lead by 5. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. The former #1 pick overall in 2015, Karl Anthony Towns, spoke about the aspirations of this team.
every single day we're thinking about how can we be the team that we need to be to not only make the playoffs, but to make it deep into the playoffs and give ourselves a chance of being a championship team. We have so much talent. We have great veterans. We have a great front office, a great coaching staff. So with all that on our side, we feel we have a great chance to find that way to success.
Yep, one step at a time, Greg. That's the mindset to have.
Yeah, you can't have too much too early. But with Towns leading the charge, this team is in great hands.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
Guys, I love their defense in that first period. They were in position and just challenging shots.
Well, I think they combined great intelligence with great effort, and you can see the results.
Here are the five the Clippers have to start the second. We've got Williams. JaMychal Green is out there with Mo Harkless. Then there's Harrell, and it's man in at the shooting guard position. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Clippers will retain possession. Let's take a moment to see which squads have been the most dominant on the glass this season. Here are the real stats, real scores from the real NBA. The Clippers in second.
You know, it's not necessarily a glamour stat, but make no mistake, their top-notch board work has been a huge key to their success.
Tipped away. Just 5 to shoot. Out of bounds, Clippers ball as the Clippers keep possession. Four on the clock. Williams, that's a two-pointer. The shot falls for only his second bucket, 2 for 9. Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. Napier feeling it out a bit. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Of course, you can't help but notice that teams are shooting earlier in the shot clock. One theory being the faster you shoot, the more possessions you get.
Well,
and the numbers would speak to that.
No doubt, Kevin. And the reality is, for announcers and for fans, that breakneck pace makes it more exciting for us. One NBA coach told me this past year that your field goal percentage in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock gives you your best opportunity to make it. And the longer that shot clock goes on, the more your field goal percentage dips. So, hey, good for us, good for the fans, good for the teams.
And that's because the defense has a chance to settle, correct?
Exactly right.
And the first one at the line is good.
I think one thing you have to love about the Timberwolves, their aggression on the offensive end. This is a team that has been top 10 in free throw attempts over the last 8 years. And when they get to the line, they do convert.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Culver's checked in. And both free throws good for Napier. And part of why the Wolves get to the line so much, they take a lot of two-point shots.
And that's a trade-off, right, Kev? We all know the analytics like the three-point shot. They like restricted area twos. But the best way to get to the line is to challenge the teeth of that defense. You can't do that from 25 feet away, guys.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, we know about Lou Williams' story. The 3-time Sixth Man of the Year may be undersized, but he keeps finding angles to score. Williams said, "I can't shoot straight up. I've always played crooked. It's weird, but it's something I've developed, fading away from guys. I have bigger defenders on me, and it's just about creating space." Kevin, even well into his 30s, Lou Will still does it as well as anybody.
I would totally agree, David. He is always deadly. Thank you.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Consistent shooter from outside the arc. Paul George is terrific at finding space when he needs to get a shot off.
And the basket by Napier.
Oh, that's some fancy ball handling right there. Since when does he take guys off the dribble?
And so George will bring it up for the Clippers. 6-point lead. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
Yeah, and that one, their intensity on the offensive end was not matched by their opponent. That led to some easy buckets.
Well, let's give some credit to the coaching staff as well, recognizing the weaknesses in that defense and going after each one of them.
Shooting 2.
No good on that one.
Well, for so much of what Paul George brings to the table, you have to start with his defensive impact. He is one of the top defenders in the league at his position, if not the best.
And he sinks the second. You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone.
Drills the three-pointer. Clippers leading by 4. Passes to Harrell. Here's Harkless. Just 5 on the clock. From the arc. Down it goes for his 3rd basket in as many tries.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Pass to Graham. Paul George with the steal. Williams in the post. Napier covering. From deep, George. Minnesota with the rebound.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Here's a Kogi. Whistle blows. Yep, that's going to be a travel.
And let's take a look at some numbers for Culver. Averaging 9 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And right now for him, it's about gaining experience and continuing to develop his game.
This is a man's game, and you've got to earn your minutes in this league. This guy, his time will come eventually.
The 3 from George. And Napier pulls it down.
Well, it hasn't been the most efficient game for this guy, but their team is fortunate to still be out in front.
Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching, and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And
wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
Very well. Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Towns, he's checked in for Jang. Robert Covington comes in for Shabazz Napier. And Wiggins is subbed in for Josh Okogie.
Boy, that's not the result I would have predicted. Usually you can take those to the bank when he's at the line.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
Well, not at the offensive end, certainly. He cannot buy a bucket right now.
And the D just a step slow, reacting to the step back.
George looking around. Got that one up quick. George has got 6 in the quarter.
Oh, Kevin, how about the dribble drive ability of Paul George, the quick handles for a guy his size.
The pass to Graham. Back to Wiggins. Fires the 3. And another 3 for Minnesota.
Well, right now, Andrew Wiggins understanding in the catch and shoot, they can't guard him.
Now, here's George. He's guarded closely. With the floater. Minnesota with the rebound. Towns has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Over to the wing. Culver passes to Towns. Got a piece of it. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Graham. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Now just a 1-point Los Angeles lead.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
You know, we see this all the time, Greg. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens.
Jeff Teague, he's checked in for Minnesota. Timberwolves trail by 4. Pass to Towns. Shoots over Zubac. Towns, no luck. Los Angeles has gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. 9 points for Harkless. And so it's Teague with it. He'll bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Clippers team.
And they'll be seeing each other 4 times this year. This is the first meeting, looking for a good start in the series.
I think each team obviously will be looking to dictate the tempo and set the tone early.
And the Clippers making a change here. Leonard's checked in. Outside Teague, over Beverly. Goes back up. Paul George with the steal. Now the Clippers moving it up. Leonard with no one around. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got 6 rebounds in the game. The tray. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut to just 3 points on the basket from Culver.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Bounce pass from Beverly. And that one's good. George. George has got 12 in the game.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Passes it to Wiggins. He can't get it to go. So the Clippers will take it the other way. They get to take on the Bulls at Chicago after this one. That team is a little road weary right now. That is the 6th consecutive game away from home. Culver dishes to Teague. Pass to Wiggins. George with the defensive effort.
I know he's got to be frustrated right now, but the team is fighting from behind. He's got to stay with it.
And here's Leonard from 3. Buries the long-range jumper. Leonard's got the lead up to 8 now for the Clippers. So the Timberwolves call their first timeout.
And for a franchise searching for stability, it doesn't help that the Wolves have had a number of head coaching changes.
Well, obviously, the Wolves aren't alone in that problem, Greg. I think it can be difficult to identify just the right kind of leadership. And when you do get someone like Greg Popovich or Eric Spoelstra or Rick Carlisle, you try to hold on for dear life.
Longley's checked in for Culver. JaMychal Green, he's checked in for Los Angeles.
Now let's take a look at Paul George, some stats on him. Some nice work from him over the last 10 games. 7th in steals, and how about his top 10 ranking in free throw percentage? A knockdown shooter, ultra reliable from the line.
And talk about being top 10 in steals. I love his jumping the passing lanes and then stealing away your dribble. And here's Green outside. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. George has got 3 assists now in this one. Beverly against Teague. The pass to Towns. Misses off the right iron. Clippers leading by 11. George with the ball. Now defended by Wiggins. And that one's good. George.
I'll I'll tell you, the team is simply riding the hot hand. This guy has been lights out.
Teague against Beverly to stop the run. Teague can't hit.
No matter what looks they get, they just can't convert to stop this run.
And I think you can start to feel their frustration mounting. With every missed bucket, it becomes more and more desperate.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Wiggins kicks to Vonleh. Beverly against Teague. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Vonleh. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. And that one's good. Wiggins.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
Beverly with the ball. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Leonard, that's for 2. Off the left rim and out.
Boy, he was wide open. You wonder, did he overthink it? That's a missed opportunity.
Here's Towns. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Towns has got 8 points.
Well, there's an efficiency with which Karl Anthony Towns can work when he's in the painted area. That is nicely done.
Beverly, the pass to Zubac. Back to Beverly. Pass to George. Here's the 3. The rebound by the Timberwolves.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Outside Teague. Pass to Towns. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. And that's 10 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Pass to Leonard. Second shot opportunity, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
See, I don't think you can teach that. Paul George going right into contact. You love that aggressiveness.
He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game.
Shooting 2.
That's good from George.
Well, I don't know that when he was selected 10th overall back in 2010, that the casual fan understood that Paul George would become one of the most effective two-way players in the NBA, but he's done just that.
Napier, he's checked in for Robert Covington. And George drops them both.
Boy, showing a lot more aggressiveness now after making 0 trips to the line in the first quarter.
Now the pass to Napier. 58 seconds left in the first half. Here's Wiggins. The rebound by Paul George. George has got his 6th rebound on the night.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Greg, I'm just so impressed with the level of finesse and craftiness that Lou Williams always plays with.
And Kevin, you don't stay a perennial 6th man of the year candidate at Williams' age without having more than a few tricks up your sleeve. He's so good in tight spaces and can find a way to get a shot up where others just have to kick it out.
And he knocks down the first one.
And Williams is sort of the classic instant offense guy. Whether he's coming off the bench or starting, he can provide a spark whenever they need one.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Okogie's checked in. Second free throw, no good. Well, Noah Vonleh was given a lot of minutes to work with last season, and he showed solid improvement.
Well, Vonleh was productive both as a scorer and a rebounder. He made great use of the opportunity presented to him. You think about it. He came into the league at such a young age. You forget he's still years away from what we should consider his prime.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Outside Teague. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot.
Well, this is where Jeff Teague likes to operate. Get by initially and get into that mid-range. That's nicely done.
From deep. And no good on the last second attempt this time. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Los Angeles. Scoring, rebounding. He was all over the place during that quarter. They are riding his performance right now. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks so much. Kawhi, you seem to be so at ease out there. How much is that helping your game?
It's helping me out a lot. Just coming in the game relaxed, just with more intensity. I mean, my teammates start getting me involved on the offensive end. I'm playing great on defense. We just got to keep it up second half and not let it up.
Hey, Kawhi, thank you very much for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and let's talk the first half. A pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. One positive they can look back on is how well they shot the ball. They finished the first period at 48% from the field. The second quarter got a lot more exciting for them as they were putting up big numbers and find themselves way out in front here at the half. And let us get your thoughts, big fella, on the Clippers.
You know what I like about Paul George? He's quietly going about his business. Sometimes he'll take a back seat, not in this case in the first half. Has the length, the skill, the deep range, matchup nightmare.
Kenny, let's get your input on the Timberwolves.
They need to break it down. And I look at the individual areas that they're struggling, like they're getting pounded. I mean pounded, Ernie, on the boards. That's a hustle stat.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. It's been one outstanding game from George.
What a menace he was on defense through the first two quarters, just disrupting everything.
Well, it was about effort and anticipation. Hard to get into an offensive rhythm when you know this guy is lurking.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court for Minnesota, Covington at the 4 with Towns in at the 5. Culver out there with Wiggins, and it's Okogie in at the 3 slot. And Leonard has it in the corner. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got his 4th assist in this one.
Paul George will force you to stay balanced defensively because if you have a miscue, he will find the open guy.
Towns kicks to Wiggins. Back to Towns. The Clippers grab the miss. Zubac has got rebound number 5 here tonight.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Here's Leonard, and good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Leonard's got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, Kawhi Leonard starting to percolate, guys. You may want to start checking this guy.
Leonard with the steal. It's not going to go for him. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. That game will conclude a 3-game homestand. Towns down low. Leonard's there.
Well, tremendous intimidation and shot blocking by Kawhi Leonard. How nice is that?
Comes up empty down low. Timberwolves trail by 18. Here's Covington. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. Hits it from 3-point range. Wiggins has got 10 points in the game.
What a beautiful stroke from range. Defensively, you've got to try to take him out of his comfort zone.
Fast break. Here we go. Here's Okogie. Rebound by the Clippers. Zubac has got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's George. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That one is on Towns. And Doris last season, rookie Josh Okogie ended up contributing more than the franchise thought he would.
Yeah, he was terrific as a 3-and-D player for the Wolves. This guy could end up being the steal of the draft, sort of in that Robert Covington mold.
And that one misses. And he's good on the second. Timberwolves trail by 16. Pass to Towns. Wiggins outside. Passes it to Covington. 5 on the clock. And there's the foul. It'll go on Mo Harkless. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
Oh, picked up his 4th foul. Maybe have to scale back his aggressiveness with plenty of time left in this one.
Harrell, he's checked in for Los Angeles. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the 3rd quarter. And a quick look at how the Minnesota Timberwolves schedule is shaping up. On Wednesday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans. Then on Friday, they'll be taking on Paul Millsap and the Denver Nuggets.
And for that game against the
Take a break.
Trailblazers,
Take a break.
That's a contest that could easily go either way. Small mistakes could be the difference, and both teams will need to be at their best.
The free throw drops for Towns.
Well, a 7-footer who's got guard-like skills, who can shoot the lights out. Karl Anthony Towns is a problem, guys.
Green, he's checked in for the Clippers. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
This is what makes him a challenge to stop. He will beat you from the floor, and he can also beat you from the line.
Now here's Beverly. The shot by George, no good. 3 minutes gone now in the 3rd quarter. A nice shot by Culver.
How about that move? Is this guy special or what? Just love watching him operate inside.
Leonard looking over the floor. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Well, you knew that Kawhi Leonard would be a huge name in the free agency market last summer, especially after winning his 2nd Finals MVP.
And Kawhi let the pieces fall before making his decision. Was the last major free agent to choose where he was going to play. Ended up shaking up the NBA in the process by joining the Clippers.
And the first one drops.
An extraordinary improvement over the course of his career by Kawhi Leonard. He has now turned himself into one of the game's best, if not the best, two-way player.
Gorgie Dang's checked in for Minnesota. Both free throws good from Kawhi Leonard. Timberwolves trail by 14. Pass to Chang. The dish now to Wiggins. And there's the pass to Culver. 6 to shoot. Pass to Okogie. To the paint. Goes up on the wing. Chang, no luck. Clippers leading by 14. And Leonard has it in the corner. He feeds it to Beverly. Rebound by Jang. And so it's Wiggins with it. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. Okogie inside the three-point line. The quick look, no good that time. The Clippers have gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvements. Here's George, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Oh, Kevin, that's not an easy play. Paul George is an extraordinary player. Keeps his eye on the bucket at all times.
And the Timberwolves call time here.
And no doubt, Coach wants them to shore up their interior defense.
I think right now they're giving up way too many easy looks. That is a recipe for disaster.
Minnesota making a switch here. Graham's checked in. And now we'll reveal the most reliable free throw shooters in the league with a look at the real stats, real scores from the real NBA. In the third spot, Paul George.
I mean, he's not going to miss many foul shots. That's for sure. He is a machine when he gets to the charity stripe.
Here's Okogie. He's got 5. Wiggins passes to Culver. Another miss by Minnesota.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
The Clippers have made 10 of their 14 tries at the free throw line in the game.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
That's good from Beverly.
Well, this is the first full year now for Ryan Saunders. Let's remember he was hired by Minnesota full-time after an interim stint last season. And boy, did the players love playing for him.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. And as we know, Doris, Ryan Saunders, the son of the late, great Minnesota legend, Flip Saunders.
Well, certainly the family has history with the organization, but in no way did Ryan Saunders get the job due to name only. This guy proved he can get wins from this Minnesota roster last year. For Saunders, he's known as a player development guy, and the ability to handle superstars is part and parcel to the job.
Shooting 2.
Free throw drops for Culver.
Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Jarrett Culver, 3-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
And so he hits both. And Greg, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA level stuff.
Passes it to Okogie, and George gets the whistle that time. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
Wiggins outside, fires for 3.
Well, not only is he a tremendous athlete, but Paul George is a terrific positional defender. He just uses that body so well to contest shots.
And it's Leonard missing. Timberwolves trail by 15. Here's Okogie. He has 5. And the rejection by Leonard. And they get it back. The Clippers shooting from the field, 44%, not bad. Rebound, Minnesota. Here's Okogie. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game.
Yeah, that's got them over the limit with a lot of time still left. They're going to have to tone it down, or they may end up giving up a lot of free throws here.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
An 80% shooter. The work he's done at the line this season, one
Take
word,
a break.
solid.
Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Teague is checked in for the Timberwolves. And so he makes both from the line. Clippers leading by 13. On the wing, Green. Back to Williams. To the inside. And it's Leonard. That time on the assist by Williams. Williams has got his 3rd assist on the night. Pass to Okogie. And the pass to Jang. Outside Teague. Shot clock at 6. Over Williams. Green with the rebound. Green's got 4 rebounds in this game. It's stolen by Teague. Jang. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's on Kawhi Leonard.
Look, guys, you love that this guy is becoming more and more of an offensive threat. Jang draws the foul there.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
You'd be hard-pressed to find an area where Zhang's growth has not been seen. No longer a guy you can send to the line.
Noah Vonleh, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Napier comes in for Wiggins. No good on the second free throw.
And wow, you just have to love the motor on Montrezl Harrell when he's on the floor. Great on the glass, and he just plays with such a fire.
Teague against Williams. And Teague, here we go. And it's Williams with the ball for the Clippers. They led by as many as 18 points. Over Teague. Williams, that's good. Williams has got his 3rd basket of the night. And with Harrell, you can see how his energy spreads to the rest of the team.
Reminds me a bit of what Fareed used to bring to teams. Harrell is also undersized, but boy, he makes up for it in so many ways.
Drills it from outside.
Well, Jeff Teague knows how to get by and find teammates. That's pretty right there.
Williams looking over the floor. Here's Leonard. Makes a fantastic move and nails the shot. Leonard's got 25 points in the game.
Well, they're leading in large part because of the work he's put in this quarter. This is nicely done.
And it's sent back by Leonard.
What a brutal night for this guy, and it is having a ripple effect throughout the team. This is tough.
And the layup is good. Leonard's got 13 points in the second half.
Well, with a 7'3" wingspan, Kawhi Leonard can beat even good defense with that reach.
Pass to Napier. Here's Graham, guarded by Green. Back to Teague, over Williams, 6 to shoot. Timberwolves keep it alive, and the dunk by Vonleh.
And that's a huge play. I mean, they need more like it because second chance points are going to be key in this game.
Probably so. That's usually a crucial element to any comeback. Towns, he's checked in for Jang. Maurice Harkless is checked in for Los Angeles. Clippers leading by 14. Passes to Mann. Lets it go from 14. And again, the Clippers good for 2. Minnesota's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Teague the pass to Towns. Towns is doubled. Teague for 3. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Harrell's got his 7th rebound here tonight.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Minnesota's gotten the three-point shot off 16 times tonight. 7 times they've hit it, 9 times they've missed. Napier passes to Towns. And it's sent back by Leonard.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
You will not see this guy miss many of those. He's one of the keys to their floor spacing.
And this is one of the things they need to keep doing in the second half to get this win. Keep knocking down those free throws. They've been sensational here at the line.
Shooting 2.
The free throw drops for Towns. Zubac is checked in for Leonard. And Towns drops them both. Clippers leading by 14. The pass to Mann. Now Harrell. From the baseline. And he overshot that one, missing. Now here's Teague. Not a lot of room. Sinks that one from the post. Teague's got 6 points.
I'll tell you, how about a high percentage opportunity from Jeff Teague? As a scorer, you love to get those easy ones.
1:29 left here in the third quarter. Pass to Harrell. Teague against Williams. Clock at 4. Over Teague. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. He's got 9. Timberwolves trail by 14. Pass to Towns. That shot misses. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. They led by as many as 18 points. Here's Mann, drilled from 11 feet out.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
The big cat climbs up and flushes it home.
Outside Williams. And the rejection by Towns. Here's Napier. That 3 off the mark. Clippers leading by 14. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Williams can't hit. Minnesota's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. And it's slammed in by Teague.
Oh, my goodness. If you don't get in front of Jeff Teague, he's going to throw it down off that dribble drive.
Now Williams. from deep three-point range. And so it's Los Angeles, enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. They've been playing some ferocious defense. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth, Montrezl Harrell is out there with Mo Harkless. Then it's Williams. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's man in at the point guard. Good, nice play there from Napier.
We know this about Robert Covington. He is a team man first and foremost. Pretty pass.
Clippers leading by 10. Outside Williams. Great D that time from T.
I don't know if he's tired or what, but he is definitely holding back a little bit, and he has to step his game up right now.
Covington dishes to Towns. He kicks to T. Unloads from 13, but he stays with it. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. And for the Clippers, they're shooting from the field, 44%, not bad. Williams passes to man. Now Zubac. Pass to man. Teague against Williams. From outside, off the mark.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
Can't cash in from close range.
And you know, you can't impact a shot that close any better than he did on that possession.
Boy, whether he blocks it or simply alters it, the result is pretty much the same.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And the Clippers call time here. And during this timeout, I'm sure they'll be hydrating themselves with Gatorade. All the effort out there on the floor, and these timeouts can be such a huge factor in getting a short rest and recharging the battery. And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Culver comes in for Noah Vonleh, and Wiggins is subbed in for Shabazz Napier. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Doc Rivers talking to the team. His key message was, don't get comfortable. Those guys are going to come at us with everything they've got. Let's bring the intensity and stay focused on every possession. Kevin, back to you.
And here's Wiggins. Over Williams. And it's off the back rim, no good. Clippers leading by 10. George passes to Harkless. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got assist number 5 here tonight.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
And that one's good. Wiggins
Great focus by Wiggins in the face of some pretty good defense.
There's the pass to Harrell. Williams for three. Drains the three-pointer. Williams has got 9 points here in the second half.
Puts one in the eye of the defense. First triple of the evening.
Teague against Beverly. Knocked away. And here we go. Beverly heading to the hoop. Lays it in off the breakaway. And the Clippers lead by 15.
And boy, he gets a great jump on the rest of the field there and just leaves them behind.
You love the awareness, the decisiveness. Great job there.
Outside Teague. Over Beverly. A nice shot by Teague. Teague's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And he has starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
Here's Williams. The teardrop falls in.
Well, the touch and the focus. What a pretty move in the lane.
Pass to Towns. Here's Wiggins. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That's on Lou Williams.
Oh, what a quick move. Wiggins able to draw the contact. Defender completely off balance. Boy, for all the talent Andrew Wiggins brings to the table, you wonder what his assessment of the 2018-19 season is. Obviously, he took a step back in terms of his production, and I think that had a lot to do with his lack of consistency with his shot. He's got a ton of talent. Let's see where it takes him.
The first free throw is good. And with Wiggins, Doris, and his struggles last year, he seemed to be relying more on his outside shot.
You wonder if Wiggins feels the pressure of an NBA that now so heavily emphasizes that three-point shooting. But his strength, to me, is putting the ball on the deck, attacking the rim, and relentlessly going at defenders. He's got to get back to that.
And as talented as Andrew Wiggins is, there are games, Doris, when he can fade into the background when his team needs him the most.
Yes, and the questions become, is he passive? Is he disengaged on the offensive end? And that, I think, can be frustrating because people around the league will tell you that this young man is as talented and as skilled as any player in the league. It's really, for Andrew Wiggins, about finding a measure of consistency.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beverly. Here's Culver. Wiggins outside. Over George. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut back down to 13 points, and that one coming from Wiggins.
Well, the mid-range game right now on point for Andrew Wiggins, doing work.
Beverly feeling it out a bit, and the rejection by Towns. Here's Wiggins. Poked away. He shoots again. Kawhi Leonard with the rebound. Leonard's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Steps back and fires. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Kevin, this is a case where it's just the pure strength of Paul George, able to fight through contact so well on these shots.
Throw good, Paul George. Timberwolves trail by 16. Outside, Towns. Pass to Okogie. Knocked loose. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. Knocks it loose. Minnesota with the ball. Covington kicks to Culver. And there's the call on Patrick Beverley. That'll be his second foul of the game. Towns finds Covington. Three-pointer. Rebound by Harrell. Harrell's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Here's George. Up and in on the layup. George has got 10 points in just the second half.
What great body control from the all-star forward. Paul George, so skilled at keeping his composure under pressure.
Minnesota calls timeout.
You know, couldn't agree more with this timeout. Far too many turnovers to get any kind of offensive rhythm. You're just trying to mix things up here.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
And as the star of this team, he knows he's going to be the object of the crowd's anger. Minnesota with the ball. It's an 18-point game. Here's a Kogi. Unable to get that one. George with the defensive effort. Up top, Leonard. Defended by Covington. Now, here is George. He's covered closely, and the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line. Doris, when you look at the success of international players, and the league has a litany of very good international players, Doncic being the latest success story, is the perception changing about these kids when they come from overseas and play in the NBA?
Well, one of the greatest, and then to me, the greatest international player of all time, Dirk Nowitzki, a Hall of Fame player, probably changed the perception to start with. Now, listen, over the years, Luka is going to have perhaps a Hall of Fame career if he stays healthy. The reality is this. The NBA is looking for the best players to man those 15 roster spots of the 30 NBA teams. It doesn't matter where you're from, what the color of your skin is. If you can play the game of basketball and play it at the highest level, the NBA wants you to be a part of their league.
Yeah, it's such a sweet three-point stroke there, and it can really open things up inside because as good as he shoots it, it forces the opposing bigs to have to step out on the perimeter.
Beverley, the pass to Leonard. And the rejection by Towns.
Well, that play is so much about his reach and determination affecting the game defensively.
Wiggins up top. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Boy, sloppy play. A supreme lack of focus. That's 4 turnovers for him now.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
It is really difficult to get your feet completely set, to stay completely still. It's almost surprising to me that it isn't called more often.
Harrell kicks to Leonard. Clock at 6. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Leonard's got 15 points here in the second half. Now here's Culver, defended by Beverly. Here's Towns, and stolen by Harrell, and pushing it up. Here's the Clippers. Here's Leonard. Ball's knocked loose. And here we go. Fast break. Towns has got it.
Aggressive drive by Towns, forcing the foul there.
Doris, do you have high hopes for the new draft lottery system to keep every team competitive to the very end of the season?
Well, one of the keys in implementing this new draft lottery system was to make sure that the bottom 3 teams were given equal opportunity to get that top draft choice. I think you did see it have some effect on play and teams trying to be competitive while understanding they're still going to have an opportunity to build their team through the draft. But here's the reality. The NBA has got to be under review constantly. There's a process in play. It's one of the most proactive leagues in the country in terms of always looking for little things to make sure their game is the best it can be.
Attention to detail. Well said. Clippers leading by 18. George passes to Leonard. Poked loose. Here's Harrell. Back to George. And the rejection by Towns. Fast break, Minnesota. Got that bucket in no time at all.
Well, after netting one in the first half, that's the second deep ball to go down for this guy.
Beverly with the ball. Now defended by Wiggins. Here's George, and George with this stuff.
Some nights as a defender, you just shake your head because Paul George uses his outstanding reach to get through the defense.
Passes it to Towns. From down in the low post, it goes. Towns has got 13 points here in the second half alone. George against Wiggins. Outside, George. George double teamed. And Harrell wide open. He shoots off target from three-point range. And there's the call on Patrick Beverly. That's his third foul of the game. Teague, he's checked in for Culver. And a switch here also for the Clippers. Zubac is checked in. On defense, the Clippers. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. The pass to Leonard. He gets that one. Leonard's got 31.
Listen, Kawhi Leonard has built his game brick by brick. You want him to score on the interior? No problem.
They get it back.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Zubac kicks to George. Harkless dishes to Leonard. Nailed from three-point land. Leonard's got 34 points.
Let's remember, in college, just a 25% three-point shooter, but Kawhi Leonard, he makes a weakness a strength.
Lets it go from 14, and he gets it to go.
And how does he get that one to go? No idea.
A minute 50 left in the fourth quarter. A three ball. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
Well, what makes Kawhi so problematic in the pick and roll? He can do about anything he wants out of it, including keep the basketball.
Teague, the pass to Okogie. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Here's Wiggins, and there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Clippers.
The blocking really turned things into their favor this time.
Great timing, anticipation. They got the blocks, and that definitely changed the momentum of this game.
And a milestone win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this four-game season series.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Kawhi Leonard.
Boy, you couldn't help but notice how well this guy protected the rim. There was an intimidation factor thanks to his defense. No easy shots in his neighborhood tonight.
Here's Okogie. Outside, Towns. Shoots over Zubac, and there's another one for the Timberwolves.
I'll tell you, so many different aspects to his offensive arsenal. Towns flashing solid handle ability.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Leonard draws the double. George with the ball. To the middle. Here's Harkless. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
Making every effort to put this game on ice.
Well, just terrific teamwork, GA. Each guy doing his part. You love what you're seeing from them tonight.
So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where's your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together, and we can just stick to that. Keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.